Ginger, thank you so much. We love you. Starting this live, I'll let people probably load in. This is going to be a horizontal live because of the amount of things that I want to show today. Um, I wanted to start this live outside to show you what autumn looks like in Siberia. A lot of people like to see horizontal. So the trees now are changing colors. You can see in front of the yard, the colors are coming out now, guys. Welcome to the live. This is a horizontal live. There's the marble quarry. I'm gonna be introducing you guys to our new apartment today, and I'm gonna explain why it is my wife and I bought an apartment, a kvartira, here in Russian, kvartira. Hello, it's another beautiful day, brother. Another beautiful day. It's a blue skies here. We're doing a horizontal stream because today's a very important day. I'm gonna be introducing you guys to our new apartment. We bought an apartment. We were renting for the last 8 months. I'll get into the whole story, but we finally bought our own apartment. Is it possible for a retired American veteran to move? Well, look. Yeah, I'm not a retired veteran, but you can definitely retire here in Russia. I am a veteran and I live here in Russia. So Ty, go to the link in the description, join our Telegram, and I can help you with that kind of information. But for now, I wanted to tell you guys, this is where it started. This is where we purchased our first plot of land, my wife and I. You can see as far as back as there. This is, I think, a quarter of an acre. It's a quarter of an acre. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know about acres, but this is a little bit over 12 sot, a little bit over 1,200 square meters. And you guys know our first investment was to purchase this push button gate, which is my favorite thing in of this plot. Shout out to my brother here in Siberia who put me onto this. If it wasn't for him, and if he's watching still, he knows. I mean, this entire fence here was inspired by my friend. It was my dream to have something like this. And yes, so that's the push button gate. And today is the day I'm going to present to you the newest and most relevant news in my life, along with my wife. My son is going to be born in October. My son is going to be born, I would say, in a much better condition than I was born in, a better world than I was born into. So, but I wanted to start here because this is the place where I figured out that dreams could come true. I never owned anything in my life. I never had anything for myself. And the ground that I'm stepping on now, which we've owned for a little bit over a year now, this was the first thing I've ever owned in my life. Truly, truly owned. And from this ground here that you see, we've eaten for 2 years. We've eaten for 2 years now. We have our tomatoes, our potatoes there. We had so many cucumbers this year. We've eaten from the garden for the last 2 years. This is the first time I've ever had anything for myself. And I'm so proud to say that my son is going to be born in a much better world than the one I was born into. I'm not angry with my mother. I'm not angry with, well, I'm a bastard child. I'm a bastard son. But I'm not angry with my mother. But I wanted to start this live stream from our plot of land because it's essentially what put me on and made me realize that, yes, perhaps it's possible to make a new life. And here we are. Today I'm going to introduce you to our new apartment. And the ground is very fertile. And thank you guys so much for the support. Haroshaya Pagoda. Thank you. I'm gonna give you guys a quick update today, September 11, for you guys. I believe it's September 11 for the United States, and the United States has been riddled with tragedies this week. So I just want to say that my heart is like, I'm saddened by this still, okay? Because I told you guys, every time I wake up, I see news from the United States. But today, I want to only talk about Russia and the Russian dream. So I'm going to do a one quick walkthrough of our plot of land, and then I'm going to drive to the apartment. Yes, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to probably make a video about that in the future. Сколько стоила квартира? So he's asking, I think, how much did the квартира cost? I'm gonna tell you guys all of the information once we get to the apartment, okay? When I get to the apartment, I'll explain to you how it works. I'll explain to you how much it costs, and I'll give you guys the breakdown of how these type of things work. But let's do a quick walkthrough of the plot of land that my wife and I bought last year. This is one of the corners here. This is the wall that goes against the road. On this other side is one of the main roads, and I'll show you from corner to corner what it looks like over here. There's one of the corners from one corner, and this is a diagonal. Now this is going to be turned into a barbecue. Where the car is going to be a barbecue patio, and that's going to be a baña. I'm going to start working on that next year. It's going to be a baña with a room and attached to a barbecue area. All of this land is very fertile, and I'm waiting for those weeds to die to fill that hole up and cover that up as well. Here's another view. Here you can see the true weather of Siberia in this region. We're absolutely blessed. It's a blessing. It's a blessing because right now a lot of even Western European countries have rain and so much ugly gray weather, but not here. Now this is another view here directly towards the quarry. By the way, I also want to show, I've been making Mexican sauce for the last month. This is a plant that's so heavy now, but I've been making Mexican green sauce for the last month. Thank you so much for your kind words. I've also been eating corn. Now, this is not something people probably expected, but I've been eating corn now in Siberia, which was planted by myself. I've been eating corn. You can grow anything here, actually. There's nothing you can't grow. My wife left that piece of broccoli to harvest seeds. Check these plants out. I left these because the bees love to eat this. Look at how they spread their seeds. If you touch them, all right, let me see. Come on. Don't... Oh, there it is. You saw that? They explode. The pods explode. Whoa. I purposely left those seeds because the bees that come here, they pollinate all of my all the vegetables. These tomatoes need to be cross-pollinated. How the hell do you... Anyways, here is our potatoes. And There's the view. Yeah, we got a bunch of honeybees. This is sweet corn. This is sweet corn. This is just the generic sweet corn. The Russians don't have a huge variety of corn, to be honest. There wasn't a huge variety. We all know that in Mexico we have so many types of corn. But this tomato here, it flourishes very well with bees. The damn tomatoes were given, those plants were given tomatoes in about 3 weeks. And they boomed. In any case, I'll show you 1 second. Let's see if this corn is ready. Some of them didn't really come out right. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Can you guys see that beautiful color? Oh. As a Mexican in Siberia, I mean, this is life for the Mexican civilization, the Mexicas, what people know as the Aztecs, and all of the Mexican Central Valley, all the Valley of Mexico, even in North America with the tribes in America, the United States, corn was such a huge deal to their people. And so this year I decided, you know what, if I'm going to live in Siberia, if I'm going to live in Irkutsk Oblast, I want to be able to know that I can plant corn. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to take maybe 2 more because I'm going to be eating corn again today. Corn is big on the Turtle Island. I love it, brother. You already know. Look at this. Put this one down. This one struggled in life a little bit. This one struggled in life. But not all corn is perfect, but all corn is delicious. Beautiful. Even like this, it's delicious. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it can. It probably could in time turn into one of those fungus corn, or I don't know what it's called in how to describe it in English. But let's continue with the tour of the land. Taking these 3 pieces of corn home. This is not something that I would expect to be able to say. We're gonna drive in a few minutes to the new apartment. Well, the new apartment to us. Hello and welcome. This is a horizontal live. This is gonna be another angle. If you guys saw, we made a video where we poured a little bit of gravel here, and this is what the gravel is looking like now. I think it's way better. I'm not trying to do anything else other than be able to walk to the outhouse outside bathroom that we're making over there. I wanted it to be nice and organized. Of course, there's going to be a few weeds that grow. I wasn't trying to line the ground with this material and then throw the gravel. I'm just trying to set it down. And if you're just joining us, I'm going to show you one last view of the plot in horizontal before we go to the new apartment. I just have to put my corn away. It's unbelievable. We're not done with the outhouse yet. We still have to make the seat and everything. I have to it's a little bit behind, but obviously you guys can see we're gonna be putting a top just like that, so it's angled down. I dug this by hand, most of it. So this is one other side of the plot. I'll show the new people that are just joining what the views are like right now. The birch tree forests behind the house here are turning yellow. This is the true autumn, guys. The grass is still green, but now the birch trees are turning yellow. It's finally beginning to look like winter is coming. We do have some evergreen trees there. You can see the clear difference between the birch trees and these evergreens. This is another evergreen here as well. And there's the marble quarry. I'll zoom in on the quarry so you can see it better. If you're here in person, if you're here in real life, the marble quarry is incredible. I can't even begin to show you exactly how it looks like. You'd have to come and visit and see it for yourself. And somebody is in their baña over there. My neighbor's in the baña. He's got it fired up. You know what's interesting, brother? We don't have so much snakes here. For some reason, in where I live, there's no so much snakes, not so much bugs. You hardly will see a tick here. If I sit here all day, in some parts of Russia, if you sit down like this, you're gonna have bugs, especially in the early morning, because this is wet grass, okay? This is wet grass. There's a lot of decomposing grass that I have growing, that I have decomposing on the yard here, and you won't see bugs flying on my face. This is not common for Russia, okay? In Russia, there's so many places where you're just gonna get swarmed by bugs. This area around the Lake Baikal, I think it's the perfect amount of air, because right now the fresh air is coming from the lake. You could almost smell the lake from here. It's like a sweet water, okay? It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Hey, that guy, welcome, man. Nice to see you on horizontal. So, did you guys hear that? Maybe the sound was not loud enough. They're blasting out there in the quarry. It was like a... I love the sound of nature out here. Okay, it's time to go look at the apartment. We're gonna look at the apartment. I'm gonna clean. And there's gonna be. I brought a tape measure. And we're gonna be doing some testing on the plot. the reason why Russia doesn't make house cheaper is because although it has a lot of land, the inhabitable land, the land that's actually comfortable to live in, is highly prized because there's so little actual land that's inhabitable that people actually feel comfortable in. Russians will live anywhere, okay? Russians will live anywhere in Russia, but for foreigners to come, it's going to be usually the comfort zones. Okay, the people who come from outside of Russia usually want to live in comfortable places, and that's where it's most expensive. I live in a place where not a lot of foreigners come. It's probably a lot cheaper here. The weather is going to make it cost less. So if it's really good weather, it's obviously going to cost more. That's the best explanation I could give. Although Russia has a huge amount of land, that land that is the good land to live in is the highly prized land. Also land next to big cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg. But I live in the central Siberian region. This weather for me is perfect. This is always about 20 to 25 degrees in summer. Absolutely perfect. By the way, where I live, it is on the main street. It looks like I'm in the middle of nowhere, guys. This is what I try to tell you guys every live. It looks like I'm in the middle of nowhere. But I'm 5 minutes away from the center of the town. I'm 7 minutes away from Lake Baikal. I'm 7 minutes away from a train that can take me to Moscow or Vladivostok. I'm 7 minutes away. So it's really, really not in the middle of nowhere. It looks like this. Some of my subscribers have come to visit me already. Some of my subscribers have already come, and it's not humid at all. Not humid at all. This is, the best way I could describe it is, it's like a colder California in summer. Maybe like 2 to 3 degrees colder than California in summer. Sorry, right? Spring. In summer here, it feels like an eternal spring, because if our springs come early, you can be for about 4 to 5 months of amazing weather. Right now, I'm not wearing anything here. I'm essentially just chilling right now. So it's time to go and see the new apartment. Thank you so much, Ginger, for the donation. Yeah, this plot right here is 7 minutes from Lake Baikal. The apartment that we bought is about 5 minutes from Lake Baikal, maybe even 4 minutes. Again, geez, the sun is in hard. Okay, let's go. That's not something, saying that the sun is hitting you so hard is not something you'll hear in Russia often. But there it is, the sun god looking right down at us. Okay. It's time to go. And how we open our gate. There it is right there. I have fish here, Ginger, but it's not from the sea. I can go fish for you every day when you come visit. Yeah, the United States is going through a really hard time. Every time I open up the news, every time I open up my phone, there's news about something horrible happening in the United States. It's fish tacos are good. It depends on where in the it's made. I will only eat fish tacos if they're from Los Angeles or Mexico, and that's it. I'm not gonna eat fish tacos hardly anywhere else. All right, it's now time to go to the apartment, guys. Stay with me. If you're just joining this live stream, my name is Dan Castle. You'll be seeing Listvianka today. Why don't you come to Sljudanka? Listvianka has almost nothing to show. It's too much of a tourist place. If you come to Sljudanka, I will show you the area around Baikal. I will show you the mountains behind Baikal. I will show you many things. Listvianka, you will be finished in about 15 minutes. Anyways, enjoy. Any place around Baikal is glorious and beautiful, but I'm just promoting my town because I'm a true patriot of Sljudanka. Okay, you're gonna see how long it takes me to get from the plot to the apartment, okay? Somebody please check the time and let me know how long it takes. It's been about 30 seconds right now since we left the plot. Somebody take the time and tell me. Usually we tell how long it is from the plot to the Lake Baikal. Today we're gonna check how long it takes to get from our plot to our apartment. Here we go. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. If you're just joining, again, my name is Dan Castle. I got married here in Russia. My son is going to be born in October. My son is going to be born in Irkutsk. He will be a Russian-born Mexican American. We're going to be also showing you the new apartment that we bought. It's not a brand new apartment, but it's a new apartment to us. I'm going to show you inside and just talk about our plans. And I'm going to explain to you why we bought an apartment instead of building a house, which is a big deal. A lot of people don't understand that not everybody in Russia lives in a house. The majority of them, I would say, live in kvartiras, and this is the normal, especially in small towns like this. If the population is 15,000, I would say 10,000 people live in a apartment. Okay, a house in some areas are a true luxury. Not to say that not anybody can own one, but the majority of the people are accustomed to living in these kvartiras, okay? But the goal is to build a home, have an apartment, and have land. This is the Russian dream, and I'm 2/3 done with it. Well, I mean, I guess I could say that I feel accomplished. As a father, I feel accomplished, and I'm proud. All right, we're here, guys. How long did that take? Yeah, I didn't say that people who live in apartments don't have dachas. I said that in towns like this, the majority of the people live in kvartiras. Of course, a lot of them have dachas, but a dacha is not a home. A dacha could be a summer house. A dacha could be a place that you live a few months, but it's not your main house. I'm talking about house. Okay, guys, let's continue here. Oh. Okay, let me see. All right. Oh. Let's go check it out. I have to take the cleaning supplies out. Hello, brother. Welcome. I'm gonna put you guys in my backpack for a second. Just wait, because I need to get the key and I need to open the door and I have to carry a lot of things. Okay. Hello and welcome. I hope you're still here. There's a little bit of an echo because it's an empty room. But right off the bat, I'm gonna say that this is natural lighting in the main bedroom. This is natural lighting in the kitchen. Okay, this is natural lighting in the kitchen. I'm gonna show you the rooms in a second, but I want to show you the natural lighting first. This is natural lighting in my son's room. This is going to be my son's room. This is going to be taken out. So I'm going to show you now the actual apartment, okay? I brought some cleaning supplies. Welcome everybody who's just joining this live. My name is Daniel. I'm an American who's living in Siberia in Russia. My wife and I bought our first apartment yesterday. Please, by the way, also, guys, do consider putting like if you can, support the channel. It helps the live get spread to other people. A lot of subscribers probably don't know that we're doing this live. So please put like. It's not so big, but for us, it's enough. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'll turn the light on. This is the entrance to the apartment. This is the main door. And what I like about this, check this out. Of course, it's dirty. I'm going to clean. What I like about the main entrance is that it doesn't go into a hallway. A lot of houses in Russia, in the kvartiras, they go into a hallway to go into the apartment. We don't have that, and I love that. So the door is here, and it goes straight into the kitchen, one of the rooms, and the other room. Okay? This is a 48 square meter apartment. This is 2 bedrooms, and the main thing that I like about this apartment is the fact that my son's room is going to be over there, and I'll show you. This is how it's pretty big actually for his first room. It's going to be pretty big, and if we have another child, they could easily live in this room by themselves. Okay, now this is the kitchen area. The kitchen is quite small, but there's nothing here. There's nothing here yet. We're gonna have to fill this up. It's a pretty small area, but we're gonna make it work. We're humbly starting our family. We're humbly starting our family. We don't even have a table yet. You can see this is what the ceiling is looking like, the walls. This is the entrance, and as soon as you enter, you can come into the kitchen. That's one thing that I really love. Now, here's the bathroom, shower room. We're gonna be putting a washing machine here. Okay, this is the bathtub. I have to clean that. Again, the ceiling looks amazing, I think. There was a lot of other options, but this one was the better option in my opinion. Thanks guys for the likes. You guys for watching. I'm showing you real time. This is my first time in the apartment this long. Thank you so much, Ilian. Okay, there's another thing that I love about this is this big closet area. This is the closet area. It has a lot of rebuilding material that I'm gonna go through, but it also looks nice ceiling there. We bought this. We bought this, by the way, guys. This is ours. This is under our name. This is our first actual kvartira. We own land now, and we now own our own kvartira. This is ours. We're never gonna move. I mean, we don't have to move out. This is what I wanted. After I show you the apartment, I'm gonna tell you why we bought an apartment instead of building a house. This is our own flat or kvartira or apartment. This is ours. My wife is so happy. She's not here right now, but I'm just going through and showing you what it looks like. The previous owners left building materials here. We're gonna be changing the doors out A lot of these doors are in bad condition, but it's not a problem. Okay. Now it's time to see my son's room. You have these double lights. Thank you so much, my friends. This is my son's room. I'm gonna be putting a carpet here on the floor. He's gonna have a carpet, and my son and I are gonna share rooms because I'm gonna put my streaming table right there. I'm gonna be here with my son streaming. If I ever make videos ever again, that's where it's gonna be from. I'll have to see what happens because once my son is born, I obviously want to pay attention to him. But I'm gonna talk about prices. I'm gonna talk about everything in a few minutes. So this is my son's room, okay? Who did the design? This was already like this, and this is the reason why we bought it. I wanted an apartment that was designed in a way that didn't look like the rest of them. Usually Russian apartments in this town have a hallway when you go into them. This one is shaped like a horseshoe or a U, and I love that. My son's room is a few meters away from my room, so we can each have our privacy. So this is my son's room. There's gonna be a carpet here, and this is where I'm gonna have my office. That is the kitchen, and here's the toilet, which we're gonna change as well. This is the toilet. This is the bathroom. I have to clean the floor. I'm probably going to cover that in the future, but this is how it is living in Russia when the piping systems are all together. There's gonna be a boiler there for hot water. You can see the plumbing is already here for it. I would say it's pretty well made. Here's the ceiling on the bathroom. There's where you're gonna connect the boiler. It looks all right. So in this part of Russia, they're for some reason they're separated like this by a wall. I'm not sure why they do it, but here we're gonna have a washing machine and a sink. This is gonna be just a toilet with a boiler there. Now, you guys can start guessing what the price is, but the truth is, it's more expensive than you think. You have to remember that we live in essentially a national park. Sludanka is sitting next to Lake Baikal, which is like sitting next to a beach. Okay, so that affects the price a lot. Okay, now we're gonna go into the master bedroom. So remember, the kitchen is there. There is the son's room, and here is our room. So another thing that I love about our place is that we have a balcony. We're on the first floor, but it's a risen first floor. Okay, the first floor is risen. So we actually have a balcony, which adds square meters to our apartment. It's awesome. Here is the ceiling in our room. Here's the walls, there's the floor. And there you can see, oh, thank you for the explanation, brother. This is actually my son's bed. This is the first thing we've bought in the apartment. My son is coming soon, and we bought this bed, or his crib. He's gonna be sleeping with us for the first few months, I think, next to us in his own crib. He's gonna live with us in our room, and that's his crib right there that I have to build. And yeah, this is the whole apartment. I think it's lovely. From our room, you could see across into the kitchen and into my son's room over there. And a lot of people may say it's small, because I've already had some people in Russia tell me that it's small, and the Russian people say, oh, it's a small place. But I never had even a room in my life. This is the biggest thing I've ever had for myself and my family. I'm really happy. Okay, now I'm gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about prices. Russian houses don't have, well, Russian apartments, what they do, I'm gonna explain to you how it is here in Russia. because a lot of Westerners probably don't understand or know how this works. So in Russia there's no such thing as a living room. They count every room that you can live in as a room. Okay, when you buy an apartment, you can choose to make this a living room or that a living room. The concept of a living room is, when you buy an apartment, doesn't really exist. When a cuartira is put for sale, any room that's not for cooking or going to the bathroom is considered a room. And you can choose to make a living room. This room that we're in right now, I think, is big enough to split and make a living room out of. We don't know yet. No, we bought this. We bought this in full. This apartment was bought in full. It's, for me, a dream come true, and especially for my wife to have her own place. I'm going to explain to you why we didn't build a house and why we bought a cuartira. My son is going to be born in October, as I've told you guys already. If we decided to build a house, we would be renting. No, it's not that I'm rich. I've saved a lot of money. We've been renting an apartment for 8 months, budgeting everything. And we have my life savings that I put, right? I decided it's better to have a house now that in winter I don't have to worry about warming up, that the water, I don't have to worry about freezing over or randomly stopping giving water, a well like on the land. I just decided that it was a safer bet to have my son in an apartment for the first 1 or 2 years of his life and then build. So the heating is very important for me, okay? And if you have any guesses, you can put them now, but put them in rubles because I don't know about US dollars. So the big reason why I decided to first buy a cuartira for my family is my son will be born and he'll have his own apartment. The apartment is going to be put to his name by the time he's born. It'll be Xenia and his name. I don't know about mortgage. No idea. We paid with this, essentially with money that we saved. In dollars, I'm not sure, but I can tell you in rubles how much it was in a few minutes. So no way I was going to have my son come into this world and live in someone else's apartment. The apartment that we're in right now is not the best, but the truth is, when we save enough money, I will build my wife's dream house. And you saw it's 3 minutes away, and this apartment we can rent out, we can do whatever we need to do, but this is going to be our first family home. And now I'm going to tell you how much it cost. So originally, this place was put up for 3.8 million rubles. Okay, this was the original price, was 3.8 rubles. Ginger's guess is actually really, really good. This apartment cost 3,250,000 rubles. 3,250,000. I don't know how much that is in United States dollars. And when I got the money, it was $1 for 100 rubles. So actually, I used a savings that I had here in Russia, and I had this money from before. So can somebody divide? It's almost like $32,000. Let's say $35,000 at most, because the ruble will fluctuate. I had to get rid of some things in the United States that I had, but that's basically it. When I traded my money, I traded it for $1 for 100 rubles. The majority of my money was exchanged for $1 for 100 rubles. That's why it's not even comparable right now. But yeah, about $35,000. And I did get rid of some things in the United States. But for me, it doesn't matter. And I didn't get rid of my red Mustang, but that is the truth. We bought this in full. I will not build a house this year. I have this apartment to build now for my son. This is for my son. This is for my wife. This is for the rest of my life, something that I could say before my son was born, we have our land and we have our apartment. And this is the Russian dream. I am so proud of this country for, I can't even describe it. We did this in less than 3 years. I married my wife. We bought land together. My wife became pregnant, and then we bought an apartment. I met her in Irkutsk. I went steady with her. I kept in contact with her. I enjoyed her company. She became somebody important in my life. I started dating her. I got married. I bought land with her. She got pregnant. My son is born in October, and we bought this apartment before he's born. I can't imagine ever doing this. It was it's like the opposite of a nightmare. It's the best case scenario. It's the most incredible thing that's ever happened in my life. It's a blessing. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. 3 minutes away, we have a quarter of an acre about. I think my brother said it was like almost a third of an acre. And we eat from the ground. You saw, I got corn that I'm going to eat today. We're eating healthier. We're living, breathing the fresh air. You guys saw that in summer. I'm always swimming in Lake Baikal. I feel like I'm in the right place. And it makes me so proud to say that my wife has been so strong. She's 8 months pregnant. She's 8 months pregnant, guys. It's incredible. She's been working so much, gardening, doing so much of the paperwork for this type of stuff. I tell her all the time, you're about to pop. I have no idea how she's doing it. She's 8 months pregnant, almost 9 months, and that's the truth. I've given you a tour, but now I think it's time to talk a little bit more other things. 1 second. Let me drink some water. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to give you guys another quick look at the apartment. Then I'm going to tell you what I think about what we're going to be doing. This is the main bedroom. The main bedroom is almost 6 meters by 3 meters. It's 3 meters wide and it's 6 meters almost long. So look at the views from the window. I'm not going to show you everything because I'm pretty sure people can find me, but just a little bit of privacy, right? From the views from the window. The balcony area is going to be an amazing place to sit in summer. Here is the main bedroom. And if you walk this way, you can walk into the son's room, or you can walk into the kitchen. You can play music. You have to be aware of your surroundings, okay? It's not important to have loud music, but I'm talking very loud. I'm doing very loud talking. Done well. This is the boys' room. And by the way, my brother's watching right now. Hermano, so when we came to this place, we saw that the walls had this wallpaper that reminded us of somebody's wallpaper, and we were really happy. This is a really good look. We're gonna make the whole apartment take this look, like a gray blue, like a grayish blue white tone. Everything's gonna have this style of colors. We like this. Okay. Oh, wow, we made it to 100 likes. Awesome. Okay, guys, now it's time to talk about what it was like. Okay, so when you buy an apartment here in Russia, there's many ways to go about it. But right now, the majority of the Russians are buying in cash. It's better to buy in cash. The big reason why is because the mortgages are high and all of these, the bank can look at, people don't like the banks up in their business about money, okay? So that's the reason why we decided, we saved up, and we decided we have to look now. I said to my wife, now is the moment to look, because there's no way I'm going to wait after he's born. If winter comes, the prices are just going to skyrocket. Missed the start of the stream. How much meters square? It's a 48 square meters with the balcony. So it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit over 50 square meters, because I will be covering the balcony. So it's a little bit over 50 square meters. Don't forget to hang the carpet on the wall. And so we bought everything in cash, and it took us about a week and a half to get everything ready. Because what they do is they start the process of putting this apartment into your name, and then you have to give the money to the owner. But the paperwork says the apartment is yours, but it's not legal until you show that you've paid the owner, and then they kind of take the apartment and say, okay, now it's actually yours. So it took about a week and a half to do that. And I think that it was really easy. There was no escrow, right? Like you didn't have to pay a realtor, because we bought it straight from the owner. We didn't have to pay anything. You buy the apartment for what it cost. You know what's interesting is that in Russia, there's no taxes on the price, is with the tax. Everything's included. It was the same with the apartment. The price that the owner put, we didn't pay not a penny more. It was the price, and now it's our apartment. Obviously, it's like the owner has to deal with the taxes of selling his apartment. The owner has to deal with that kind of stuff. But the tax was put on them. We didn't have to do anything. So I'm not sure if this is normal in Russia, but we bought it straight from the owner, who was a realtor, so that was lucky. But the taxes was paid by them. And if it was under 2 million rubles, then there is no taxes. The yearly taxes, I'm going to tell you guys, okay? When we get to that point of owning this apartment, I'm going to give you guys all of the information. I'm going to give you all of the cost of, I'm going to tell you how much it cost every month. You know, every time I was doing lives in the other apartment, I was telling you how much electricity cost, how much water cost. Now you're going to have a new perspective. That was when we were renting. Now you're going to have the price of somebody who owns their own apartment, how much it cost. We will be planting fruit trees in our plot, by the way. We have a few already seeds that we're going to be growing this year. Yeah, the tax is very insignificant compared to many other countries. Yeah, the seller had to deal with the taxes, because I'm telling you what I know from what we just did. We didn't have to pay a penny more. The owner had to pay all of the utilities that were owed, because otherwise we're not going to buy it. The owner had to pay off all the utilities. The owner had to pay off all of the debt to the government, because the government charges for maintenance, obviously, which is very low compared to other countries. The owner had to pay for everything. And then once we saw that there was no debt on the apartment, we put the offer in, we paid the money, and then, the paperwork started, then we paid the money. So the apartment, we owned the apartment before we paid for it, which was really interesting. In Irkutsk, if property is owned at least 3 years, there is no sales tax. That's another thing that's actually true. That's a benefit to owning a place for a long time. If you buy an apartment, the Russian government makes it to where, okay, if you're just trying to flip houses, there's going to be some taxes, all right? Video is freezing in Canada. Good night, my friend. I'm sorry about the quality. I'm on there. I don't have Wi-Fi yet on the apartment. Thank you so much for joining us. Everything is electric here. We have central heating from the water pipes. Buenas noches. Everything is absolutely on top, like top notch. This is a 19, I believe, like 1990s building or a 1980s building. And that's not old at all because the rest of the town is 1960s, 1950s. This is a newer apartment building, and these buildings were made to last. This is a building that was made for the railroad workers, the coal miners, the marble miners. So this town exists because of those people, and they built these damn buildings to last. This is a newer building, and it has heating here. These radiator heating from the water, and of course, I'm gonna go into detail about this when the water gets turned on. I'll tell you how warm it is, how cold it is. I'll tell you how much it costs every month because in Russia you can buy the apartment, but you still have to pay monthly like maintenance, which is probably like $50, no, 30 to $50, okay? So you're paying about 30 to $50 for living here for the rest of the time that you own it. But in my opinion, it's a fair trade because you don't have to worry about heating in the winter, and it really levels out. Yeah, homeowners association fees, something like this. It's like that. But it's very, very minimal, and I'm gonna talk about the prices when we own it for our first month. Another thing is it's almost like HOA fees. It's almost like this because you do have to pay if they do work for like fixing pipes or maintaining outside. Oh, my heating, $15 is way too much. $15 is way too much. You guys know that in heating in the other apartment, we're paying like $5. In the apartment that we're in right now, we're paying about $5. It's a little bit smaller than this apartment by like 3 square meters. And this apartment is a newer apartment, so the heating should be better. So I don't have a problem with the prices that are gonna come. I'm just happy that my son is gonna have a place to live. I'm trying to be quiet so you can see how quiet the neighbors are or how quiet the neighborhood is. I'm very happy. My wife is happy, and she's happy because she won't have to move out. At the end of the month, we were moving, you know, guys. When I first arrived to Russia, I had nothing, and I didn't even have my wife. I didn't know her. And when I met her, we still had nothing together. And then when I started dating her, we lived in a 1-room apartment, like the size of this room almost, guys. When we first moved in together in Irkutsk, we lived in an apartment the size of this room. We were renting an apartment the size of this room. And like, it's crazy. I've been with her almost 3 years we've been together. And we've been through so much. We were stranded in Turkey. We were living in a horrible apartment at once. Moving in and out of her father's apartment. Renting out a friend's apartments in winter. Not knowing where we're going to live. We went to Irkutsk to try again to live there. It was just chaos. And now we're not going to live. Yeah. You guys know, if you remember my streams from a long time ago, I slept on the floor for many, many months, and my back is messed up from the war. But you know, you have to do it. And that's nothing to me. That's nothing to me because now I'm gonna buy a bed. And shout out to my friend Klaus because I used all my savings essentially for this apartment. He helping me buy a bed. I'm gonna buy a bed and a mattress, and it's gonna be the first bed that I've ever owned of its type. A bed that I'm not gonna have to leave anymore. And that's the first thing we're gonna put in this apartment is a bed. So this is a place that we're going to live until my house is built. Okay? You may not know where we live, but people who live in kvartiras in this part of Russia, uh, so yeah, in your own example, 64 square meters is not enough. Well, so in this part of Russia, it's enough. I don't know if you're Russian, but we are humble people here. I live in a small town. There's a big difference between a Russian in Sludanka and a Russian in Moscow. Even Russians in Irkutsk are humble and they live in a different way, I would say, than the people in Moscow and St. Petersburg. For us, this is good enough. About 50 square meters is good enough for 3 to 4 years. And even if it was smaller, even if it was just this room that I'm in, you have no idea to see my wife's face when I gave her the keys and I said, now our son and you have a place. For me, I'm an immigrant. Okay, I'm an immigrant in Russia. I slept in a closet before I came to Russia. I had a very good paying job, and I was living in a closet in Irvine, California. Yeah, I was living in a closet in Irvine, California, and I came to Russia on vacation. And after some time, I met a Russian woman, and now I have my own apartment. Life is better for me. So even if this was it, I think it's enough. We have Lake Baikal. The way we live in Irkutsk is we're always outside. We have nature. We have the best views in the world. So we actually have our place to sleep and we go outside. Nobody's staying inside in Russia. We're always outside. Yeah, Irvine is a beautiful city, but I lived in a closet. It was just a bed. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yes, it's a modest and perfect, beautiful beginning. Yes, I think we will have maybe 1 or 2 more kids, but I agree with you on this. We will have a bigger place. My dream is to build my wife's dream house. That is my dream, to build my wife's dream house, and we already have the land for it. I think you came in late to the stream, or maybe you don't know this channel, but we have a pretty big sized plot of land 3 minutes away from here. 3 minutes away from here, we have land. It's almost 13 square meters. It's like a 1,250 square meters of land, 3 meters away. I mean, 3 minutes away, and we're gonna build our dream house there. Okay, so everything is gonna be fine. For me, what's important is we have a place for my son to sleep. Yeah, I think that the most important thing for me right now is my wife. When you see Ksenia smile and know that when she has her son, she can come and bring it home to his own room, that's everything. That's everything. That's everything for me. I don't care about size. I just really happy. Yes, we have a name now. We have a name, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, but he will have a Russian name. Yes. I mean, I think Ginger knows the name, but Ginger don't say the name. But Ginger can tell you, who's watching right now, Ginger can tell you if she likes the name or not. Yes, the house is going to take It's going to be a long-term build. I'm not going to rush into this. In fact, my friend who's also in Irkutsk, who inspired me to have the gate that I have, he inspired me also to have something else, and that's what I'm going to be building first. So inspired again by my friend, I'm going to be building banya with a nice living area. No, I said Ginger. Ginger knows the name, but don't tell them the name Ginger, but I have the name for my son. You mean the name is not going to be Silverio? That's so funny. His Silverio is not gonna be his name. But he will have a Russian name, and I'm really proud to say he's gonna be here soon. My son is almost born. It's incredible to say that. Stanis Stanislav. There's so many things, man. I feel like I feel like in the last 3 years, a perfect chaos happened. I told our cat. I'll tell you about the cat later. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna describe to you what life has felt like. It's felt like you got a bunch of rocks. It feels like you got a bunch of rocks and you threw them and they just landed one on top of the other. Because when we bought our plot of land, it was at the perfect price and now it's worth double. This apartment, we got it for the perfect price that we could only afford, but it's one of the bigger apartments in town. Honestly, if you look in our town, there's not a lot of options. And yeah, so Jerry was probably eaten by an eagle. So that's the news on our cat on the plot. He was a feral cat. He lived on the streets. He most likely died to an eagle or probably to crows. So that's the truth, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really sad thing. But that's the life of a cat out here. There's so many eagles out here, huge eagles, and they patrol all the time. My father-in-law's name is Valeri. It's Valeri. I'm really happy, because my father-in-law has been so proud of me. In real life, the people that I have around me, not even my mother or my family knows how much this means to me. I told my family back home this accomplishment, and it doesn't feel like they're even proud. It's an interesting feeling. Like Americans to me, my godmother was really proud for me, but when I say like Americans, I just mean like my family. My father-in-law has been the most happy for me. Yes, Ksenia's name is Ksenia Valerievna Castellon in Russian. Ksenia Valerievna Castellon. Uh, I'm trying not to have a patronymic name for my son. I don't want it. My son will most likely not have a patronymic name. I don't want him to have my name. If he has my last name, it's good enough. In fact, I would rather him have his grandfather's name. Yeah, I know. And people in Russia, like my friends, my family here, my family in Russia is proud of me the way I all I need. Like my family who I have here, they know the struggles. They know what we've been through. And right now I was getting a little bit sad because, or not sad, but like proud of how proud my family is here. It's a huge difference. It's so strange. I feel like my only family only is in Russia. No, it's not going to cause any issues. We already spoke with people who have done this, and honestly, my son is not going to be only Russian, and my son is Mexican. My son is Russian first, Mexican American, and he's not going to have any problems with paperwork because many people in Russia are born to two nationalities. So yeah, if I have it my way, he will not have a patronymic name. This is not for me. I will call the Mexican embassy and they will write a piece of paper and they will say, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Many people in Russia, I mean, Russia's becoming more modern anyways. My son will be Russian Mexican. Okay? He will be Russian Mexican. It sounds so beautiful. It sounds so beautiful, a Russian Mexican. So, we've been streaming for about, it's a very strong, very strong. We've been streaming for a little bit over 70 minutes. Yeah, my brother's kids in Russia have no patronymic names. In fact, a lot of things that I say, a lot of things that I do is because of my brother in the chat. I wouldn't have the courage to do a lot of the things that I've done. Even go as far as name my son without a patronymic name, without the inspiration of someone else that came before me. And I've said this many times. If you're coming to Russia, you have to try to learn from the people who came before you. And you have to be humble about this because it's hard to figure things out in this country. And a lot of the things that I've learned are from him. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to make a full video and give you guys a summary of everything that I've shown you. Hopefully by Sunday. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Hopefully you enjoyed the horizontal. I hope you enjoyed the horizontal view. Goodbye, my friends.